Bethesda announces early 20th century brawler BATTLECRY. Harmonix is looking to significantly revamp their musical FPS Chroma. Marvel Heroes is celebrating its 1-year anniversary with a relaunch, and EA shuts down Mythic Entertainment. All of this and more on this week's episode of Free-to-Play Weekly. Bethesda has just announced BATTLECRY, an upcoming free-to-play third-person brawler which has teams of early 20th century soldiers fighting to hack each other up into bits and pieces to settle confrontations on a global scale. Set in an alternate universe, BATTLECRY depicts what happens when following a particularly catastrophic world war. The world's governing leaders have powwowed up a plan to wage war against each other in a more up-close and personal style without the use of gunpowder at all. Known as the Black Power Treaty, the plan calls for both sides to fight each other in designated areas called war zones, where up to 32 players may compete for their faction of choice. As a fighter within these war zones, players will have access to an ever-expanding list of classes, each of which offers its own unique playstyle, weaponry, and special abilities, which can only be used after a player builds enough adrenaline from fighting. According to the official site, BATTLECRY features dynamic movement, giving you the tools needed to seamlessly grapple, evade, and mantle to quickly cover distances and evade the other team. Combat is said to be responsive with smooth controls, allowing players to unleash violent, high-impact combos. Despite a lack of gunpowder, there are still ranged classes available in BATTLECRY. The Archer, for example, utilizes either a longbow or dual crossbows depending on the faction, while the Gadgeteer employs a railgun rifle. The Brawler utilizes a pseudo-diesel punk approach, with classes having access to retro-futuristic technology like hulking steel arms and advanced electrical gadgets. The game's art direction is being headed by Viktor Antonov, who was the visual designer behind Dishonored and helped define Half-Life 2's art style, including the famous City 17. In an effort to promote good warmanship, players can salute their opponents after each match and even award them medals for their bravery and heroic efforts. After each match, players can accrue iron, which serves as BATTLECRY's currency and is used to unlock new class customization options, including new abilities and most likely additional crafted cosmetics. BATTLECRY is still a ways off, with the closed beta slated for sometime next year. Mythic Studios, best known as the creators behind the iconic MMORPG Dark Age of Camelot and the ill-fated Warhammer Online, have closed their doors. Originally founded in 1995, the studio was acquired by EA in 2009, less than a year after the release of Warhammer Online. From there, Mythic bounced back and forth, assuming a few different name alterations along the way while working on the PvP standalone Warhammer Wrath of Heroes, until EA shut down the game and moved the studio to mobile-only development. In an official statement, a EA representative gave the following explanation for the closure. "We are closing the EA Mythic location in Fairfax, Virginia, as we concentrate mobile development in our other studio locations. We are working with all impacted employees to provide assistance in finding new opportunities, either within EA or with other companies via an upcoming job fair." Unfortunately for Mythic, the studio's final release was the dreadful mobile port of Dungeon Keeper, which boasted almost none of the redeeming qualities of the original and all the paywalls of modern-day mobile gaming. Our thoughts go out to those affected by the closure. Having tabulated the results of Harmonix's recent alpha test period for their musical FPS Chroma, the studio has come back with a bit of grim news. According to the devs, the game just wasn't shaping up to be what they'd envisioned. In an email sent to all current alpha testers, Harmonix explained Chroma will need some substantial retooling before the studio is happy with the game's development direction. As a result, Chroma's alpha will conclude on June 4th. The email goes on to explain this conclusion was reached as a result of feedback from both the community and Harmonix's own internal analysis, and concluded by stating, "We remain passionately committed to the high-level vision, and we think there are some very successful mechanics and systems in the existing build. The team has, in fact, already started prototyping new directions for the game based on those successful mechanics. We look forward to sharing with you down the line as Chroma evolves in new directions." In its current alpha state, Chroma attempts to fuse musical rhythms with first-person shooter elements, two things which require a large deal of concentration and precision. Simultaneously, and perhaps unrelated, Harmonix also announced it had laid off 37 of its full-time employees. In a statement to Joystick, Harmonix stated the layoff was necessary as part of the studio's process of restructuring itself in order to bring it into alignment with their development plans. According to Harmonix, these layoffs will not affect any of the studio's current projects, and lists several of the unaffected titles, including the studio's recent Kickstarter success Amplitude. Chroma is notably absent from that list. Wuxia-inspired MMORPG Swordsman Online is slicing its way toward a short closed beta period which begins June 16th and will finish up later in the month on the 27th. Anyone who registers now will be granted access to the closed beta and unlock some exclusive items only available to the early worms. With martial arts as the main focus in this clashing of blades, Swordsman features a dense universe that is parallel to Louis Cha's Wuxia novels. Potential champions of the sword can join one of 10 class-defining schools of martial arts, opposing forces from other schools as well as the Ming government. Although it is unclear what the exclusive items they speak of actually are, it can only be assumed that they will be relatively beneficial to anybody looking for a tip-top closed beta experience. If you enjoy leveling houses for the fun of it, smashing through concrete walls just because you want to see what was on the other side, and does the words "high explosive" send shivers of excitement down your spine? Then does Obsidian Entertainment have a trailer for you? The newly released trailer for their upcoming totally original modern-day tank sim Armored Warfare allows everyone to witness just how well Obsidian can make things explode across a variety of locations using CryEngine 3. If the trailer has your blood a-pumping, you'll be happy to know Obsidian has also just opened up recruitment of individuals interested in being closed beta participants. Marvel Heroes had a less than stellar start when it launched in 2013, but Gazillion Entertainment has been steadily making refinements and adding new content to the costumed ARPG to the point where they feel the game deserves a fresh start with a new name. Well, sort of. Launching on June 4th under the name Marvel Heroes 2015, the ARPG's relaunch will also be timed to coincide with the Mac Client open beta test and the introduction of new endgame raid content. At first glance, the name change may seem a bit convoluted, as Gazillion Entertainment is treating the launch of Marvel Heroes 2015 as if it were a new game. According to David Brevik, Gazillion CEO, the name represents everything we have accomplished and intend to accomplish with one name. Okay. Brevik goes on to elaborate, saying we've come a very long way since our original launch a year ago, and the now imminent release of Marvel Heroes 2015 alongside our massive anniversary celebrations marks the beginning of something even better. Whether it's defending the expansion or recruiting your favorite superhero as a team-up, we're excited to continue delivering on our community's expectations. We truly believe we put more improvements into our game than any other iterative release out there. The 2015 moniker reaffirms our commitment to keep doing it. While the relaunch may be a bit superficial, Marvel Heroes 2015 will come with a bit of new content for both new and existing players to appreciate. Existing players will be able to take on the new endgame raid featuring Sulter, a 1,000-foot interdimensional fire demon who controls hordes of lesser fire demons because that's what giant fire demons do. Players of all levels may also enjoy the new alternate advancement systems which function similar to the Paragon levels found in Diablo 3, allowing players to allocate points across a variety of combat and non-combat stats for all their heroes equally. The only question which remains is, should we expect a Marvel Heroes 2016 next year? And the game of the week is Happy Wars. Originally released on Xbox Live, Happy Wars has since debuted on Steam and features up to 30 players going head-to-head in over-the-top team-based siege combat complete with wacky melee confrontations. The game's 3 basic classes, the Warrior, Mage, and Cleric, can be customized with a wide variety of gear obtained randomly after each match or purchased with in-game currency. The gear provides players with the opportunity to provide unique buffs to their attacks, while the armor's cosmetic flair completes the game's stylized aesthetics. In each match, 2 teams of 15 work together to push each other's territorial boundaries across a variety of unique maps while capturing key objectives and erecting siege equipment including Gatling guns, ballistas, flare guns, and even a chicken cannon, all of which are used to bombard the enemy's defenses and ultimately take down their castle. So, if you're looking for a casual game with eccentric siege warfare that doesn't require you to level to the end of an MMORPG to see it, then be sure to check out Happy Wars. That is going to be all on this week's episode of Free-to-Play Weekly. Don't forget to like, subscribe, and leave a comment in the comment section below. And be sure to head over to MMOBomb.com for more free-to-play action. Until next time, Natsumii out.